Okay, this is huge, huge news. Last week, I told you about Bernie Sanders suing Ohio after a rule change by Secretary of State John Husted in December banned 17-year-olds from voting in the Ohio primary tomorrow. The logic was, okay, 17-year-olds are allowed to participate in nominating a party candidate if they will be 18 years old by the date of the election. But a primary is not really a vote to nominate. It's a vote to elect delegates who then go to the Democratic National Convention and nominate. Absolutely bogus, a clear attempt to suppress the turnout of young voters disproportionately likely to support Bernie Sanders. Now, the good news is Franklin County Common Pleas Court Judge Richard Fry ruled 17-year-olds can vote tomorrow in Ohio. If they're going to be 18 years old by the day of the November election, they can vote in the primary. This is absolutely the right decision, Lewis. And Husted is all upset, saying, we're going to appeal. This last minute legislating from the bench is not going to happen. Well, you
That's
kind
exactly
of were doing, that's exactly what you were doing in December, saying, hey, you know what? All of a sudden, voting in a primary is not voting to nominate. It's voting to elect delegates who then go and nominate. So 17-year-olds are out. This is the right decision. And of course, the reason it's important for Bernie Sanders is he is doing particularly well amongst the youngest voters, and every indication that banning 17-year-olds who will be 18 by November would help Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm. And this was a rule that had been in effect since the 80s, right?
Yeah, I believe
Almost
so.
30 years. So it's very clear what he was trying to accomplish here. I'm happy for Bernie. I think this is the correct ruling.
And again, if Hillary Clinton is just going to win, then by all means, let democracy run its course, and then we can decide as progressives in November, do we vote for Hillary Clinton or do we vote for whoever else? But don't go in December and change a rule that is not a controversial rule. It's a rule that exists in many states, and say, hey, even if you're going to be 18 in November, you can't vote in the primary. That's last minute legislating election law, right? That the decision from the judge to keep things as they have been, that's not the activist judicial decision.
Right. And it's bad enough that you need to use a magnifying glass to find democracy in our entire electoral process. Let's just not do these last minute rule changes and try to fake democracy as best we can.
Gamefly is sort of like Netflix for video games. They have over 8,000 new and classic games for Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3, Wii, and a bunch of other platforms. And you can play as many games as you want for one monthly fee. And if you find some games you want to keep, you can buy them for a low used price. There's never any due dates or late fees. And our audience can get a free 30-day trial at gameflyoffer.com/TDPS. The games are shipped directly to you with return envelopes included. There's no contracts, and you can rent games through the mobile app. Get the free 30-day trial for the David Pakman Show audience and support our show by going to gameflyoffer.com/TDPS.